On my right knee, when I was 17, I blew it out. I tore my ACL, partial MCL, and partial LCL, and broke my fibula, the smaller one, yeah. And they repaired the ACL. They did not repair the others at that time. They said it would tighten up on its own, and it did not. So then when I was 22, I went back, and they repaired the MCL, and I had arthritis from it being sliding in the wrong grooves, and I could never get the muscles to come back. It was always atrophied, even after doing physical therapy and everything. And they just told me I was just going to have to basically kind of deal with it. Well, I enjoy working out, and as I'm trying to work out, pushing through the pain of the knee, I compensated on my left knee, and as a result, tore my meniscus. So then I have two knees that are constantly swelling, constantly hurting. They were just killing me nonstop. And then the doctors told me, you're basically going to need a knee replacement. But I'm obviously too young for that. And so then they were just giving me injections in my knees to just maintain it. It's something I just have to live with. They did offer different surgeries, but I did not want to do those because I just didn't feel like they were going to help anyway. They just put me through the pain. There was one that they told me, because they told me after one MRI that I had a hole in my knee from a chunk of cartilage missing, and they could do a surgery on it that might help, but might not help, and I had to be off for 6 weeks, so that just wasn't an option not to be able to walk for 6 weeks because I have two young kids. So I was just nothing helped, you know what I mean? I coached gymnastics, and it definitely took away from my coaching ability because I would move slower, they would hurt, I couldn't get up and down as fast as I would like to. And whenever we go to competitions, because it'll last for 2 days, I could be there for several sessions. After about 2 hours of standing, they would start to swell, and they would start killing me. And I could start at 8 o'clock in the morning and not get it done until around 10 o'clock at night, which is a long day. But by the end of the day, trying to be upbeat for each session that I have and all the kids that I coach, it got very difficult whenever you have two knees that are so swollen, and every time you get up, every time you take a step, it kills. I mean, I did what I wanted to do. It was just always in pain, and I always paid for it. My knees would swell so big, huge, and I could not perform or do things to the level that I wanted to do them. Plus, I enjoy working out. It definitely, stopped me from doing workout the way that I would want to do it. Or if I did try to push through it, I'd have to pay for it for several days, just with the pain. Surgeries helped me as far as making my knee stable, but then the arthritis, and then they said I had bursitis, whatever other itis, I believe I had it. And then they offered to give me a series of injections called Euflexa. So I had to go, I did this twice, 2 different times. I went for 3 weeks in a row, and I got an injection in each knee both times. They were extremely painful. Could barely even walk out. They hurt so bad. They did give a temporary fix, just basically masked the pain, but didn't fix the problem, obviously. I did that. They also did cortisone injections, and I had fluid removed from my knees before, too. I waited a couple months it was before I decided to go. Because, I felt like I was worried. I was like, I'm just going to waste my time, and it's not going to help, because I've been told I needed more surgeries, and I've done so many different things, and nothing helped, and they were all painful, and in the end seemed to make it worse. Well, I tried many things, and I was skeptical about it because I was like, oh, it's just another thing that might not work. So I was just putting it off, waiting, and I wish I hadn't waited so long. My understanding is it was going to help me. It was going to make the pain was going to get better. It was going to help to retrain my legs, the muscles in my legs. I really wasn't altogether too sure, but I figured I tried everything, so I might as well give it a shot. To be pain-free, to be able to live my life and do things that I could not, do without pain.
And did we help you to achieve it?
Absolutely. I would tell everyone to go. Everyone. It was the best decision I ever made. And I've done it since then. Everybody I come into contact with that has any kind of a problem, I tell them all about it, tell them they need to go, they have to go. They will be so happy that they went. To not be skeptical and to go try it, because you will not regret it.
I was deadlifting close to 500 pounds, and I had straps on. It was on my third lift. I felt my lat, my shoulder, I felt 3 pops, and this was probably about September, October, end of September, early October. And for probably about 3 weeks, I had bad bruising down my tricep, down my arm, and down my lat into my serratus. I couldn't really do anything. I couldn't lift anything on my left side. I did do some physical therapy, some other rehab, but it would only heal to about 60 to 70% of what it was before, and it stayed there for probably about 2 or 3 months before I started with neuro. I couldn't do anything pulling. I couldn't do anything pushing. I couldn't even do a low plank on my elbows. I had very poor scapular contraction. My left arm and left shoulder were pretty destroyed. And I'm someone who's very in tune with their body, so it was easy for me to try to compensate and work other areas, but it just continued to throw my neuromuscular system out of whack, and miscompensation patterns lead to more injuries. I wouldn't say everything else didn't work, but nothing worked like neuro. I got some relief from acupuncture. I got some relief from massage therapy. I got some relief from manual physical therapy, but nothing to the degree that neurotherapy provided. Within just a few short sessions with neurotherapy, I was increased range of motion, decreased pain, increased strength, flexibility, mobility, less pain when I was living. So I had tried acupuncture, chiropractic, physical therapy, massage therapy, dry needling, cupping, Graston technique, everything. Having a little bit of a background in sports science and understanding physiologically what the body does and how the brain and the muscles are connected. Just after talking to Evan and a few conversations, I had an understanding for what the premise for neurotherapy was, and it interrelated and intercreated the movement patterns from the brain to the muscle so that the muscle could fire optimally. A lot of times when you have an injury, you can have scar tissue buildup, but the brain will also create a neuromuscular pathway that's incorrect in the form of atrophy because it'll protect the area that was hurt. Neurotherapy, reignited that area that was dead and, allowed for me to get back to where I've been, and I'm better than ever now. The therapists in neurotherapy are excellent. They're very attentive. They're on point. When you're in your session, they're focused. Everyone at Neuro was very approachable and very educated on what they were going to do and how they were going to help me. I wanted to achieve a less pain tolerance, more mobility, flexibility, and every session it felt better. So it completely helped me. Yes, we accomplished it. It's not really a leap of faith because there's a lot of science behind it. It's just, it's about investing in yourself. I tell people that spending money on yourself isn't an expense, it's an investment. And what good is your wealth if you don't have your health? Your quality of life has everything to do with how well you're living and how good you're feeling. So, I would definitely recommend this to anyone that I work with. I work with pro athletes, I work with college athletes, I work with high school athletes, I work with weight loss, competitors, professionals of all kinds. What have you got to lose? Give it a shot.
My pain was from my ankle. I sprained it in the preseason of my football season, and it was really bad. It happened on a Friday night. I woke up the next Saturday. I couldn't walk on it. I had to go get x-rays, and luckily it just ended up being a sprain. But I had to walk with a boot for multiple days. I honestly wasn't expecting to play for probably 6 to 8 weeks. I tried physical therapy for a while, and really it didn't get me any progress, really. I was just told the whole time that that's what I needed to do, and Evan came to me and just said that some of the things they were telling me to do and some techniques that they've been using for the past forever really have never been innovated or changed. And so once he started explaining that to me, it really just clicked and made sense to me to try something else, considering they've never really changed physical therapy, and now that all this new technology is coming around, I should probably try this. Really, it was just His explanation was all that I really got from it. I tried to do some research online, but it was such a new subject in technology, I really didn't have much. He told me about some of the professional athletes that have used it with coming back from Tommy John surgery, and then there have been some people from Jacksonville with ACL surgeries that have been running 2 or 3 weeks just after the injury before their surgery. So it kind of just, he proved the point with the previous clients, really. Before I made the decision, it was probably a couple days after my mom brought it up to me after she met Evan and talked to him about it. And she did a really good job of convincing him, and obviously I believe everything my mom tells me, so, and I came to Evan and talked to him about it, and we decided that it was the right thing to do, probably in about just 2 or 3 days. And just how he told me of previous clients and everything, and how fast the recovery was, so really that was the main reason it was so quick. There was really nothing other than, maybe just fighting through some discomfort is really what he was telling me I would have to go through, and I thought I was going to be able to handle it. And so that was really it. I would tell them that although it might be a little rough in the beginning, once you really start to trust the therapists, Zach and Evan, really just put your trust in them and realize what they're doing is for your best interest, even though it might be a little bit uncomfortable. Really, it will be worth it at the end, just for the fact that the recovery is so fast, and honestly, you come back better than you were before. Really, just the therapists and being able to build a relationship with them, and just the fact that they were just so encouraging but hard on me at the same time to really push myself. It wasn't just like when I went to physical therapy where, they were just, you could kind of tell they were just doing it because it was their job. When you come here, it really feels like they're doing it because they want you back on the field, and they were both athletes before I was, and they knew how much it meant to me to get back on the field, and I could just really feel their passion for me and just the time and effort they were willing to put in just for me, just so I could get back on the field. And I'm just a high school athlete, so if they'll do it for me, I'm sure they'll do it for anybody. I would say that it's worth it, really, is the short answer. It's just something that is the new innovations all throughout the world of really pretty much everything, even through me growing up just at 17 years old. Really just everything's changed, and the fact that the same practices have been used for physical therapy just the past however long it's been going on. Be one of the front runners and jumping on this technology, and it honestly changed my life, really. With all my injuries and everything, I can recover much faster, and it's just made my life much better knowing that I can be on the field with any injury before anybody else can. The number one thing I wanted to achieve coming to Premier was just to get back on the field as soon as possible and to get 100%. And there's no other way I could have got back on the field in the short amount of time I did. And really, that was the main goal, to get back on the field, and it happened in a very short time.